I gave my love the way some people give prayers, quietly, faithfully, without keeping count. I gave it to my husband first, believing marriage meant partnership, believing loyalty would be returned as respect. I gave it to my children next, pouring my strength into their needs, their dreams, their comfort, even when my own voice grew tired. I gave it to my family, my workplace, my friends, always saying yes, always understanding, always forgiving. And slowly, without realizing it, I disappeared. My opinions were brushed aside. My exhaustion was called drama. My silence was mistaken for weakness. They smiled while taking, never once asking how much I had left. The first shock didn't come with shouting or violence. It came with indifference. When I was sick, no one noticed. When I was hurting, they changed the subject. When I cried quietly at night, the world slept peacefully beside me. My husband made decisions without me, then informed me like I was a guest in my own life. My children learned to come to me only when they needed something: money, time, emotional labor, never to ask how I was holding up. I became useful, not loved, reliable, not valued. And every time I tried to speak, I was reminded of everything they had done for me, as if love were a debt I could never finish paying. Anger came late, but when it arrived, it burned clean. One day I stood in the kitchen, staring at a sink full of dishes, and realized I felt nothing. No pride in caring, no warmth in serving, just emptiness. That was the day I understood the truth I had been avoiding for years. They didn't break me overnight, they drained me slowly, because I allowed it. My love had no boundaries, and people without conscience see that as permission. I wasn't unlucky. I was overgiving in a world that rewards taking. The confrontation wasn't dramatic. It was calm, and that scared them more than shouting ever could. I stopped explaining myself. I stopped rescuing everyone. I stopped fixing problems that weren't mine. When they asked what was wrong, I said, I'm tired. When they accused me of changing, I said, I finally noticed. The silence that followed was loud. Some got angry. Some tried guilt. Some laughed it off. But none of them offered accountability. That told me everything I needed to know. Walking away didn't mean leaving the house or filing papers immediately. It meant emotional withdrawal first. I reclaimed my time. I slept without guilt. I spent money on myself without asking permission. I said no and let it sit in the room without softening it. And something unexpected happened. My strength returned. Not loudly, not all at once, but steadily. The woman I used to be, the one with opinions, dreams, fire, she wasn't dead. She was just buried under years of being used. The revenge they never saw coming wasn't cruelty. It was independence. I stopped proving my worth. I stopped begging to be seen. I let them feel my absence while I was still standing right there. And when I finally did leave emotionally, mentally, and then physically, I didn't announce it. I didn't explain it. I simply chose myself. The same hands that once served everyone now built a new life. The same heart they drained learned how to protect itself. Today, I look back without hatred, but without excuses either. I loved deeply, and that was never my mistake. The mistake was staying where love was consumed but never returned. If you're watching this and you feel empty, invisible, or used, hear this clearly. Love without boundaries is self-destruction. You don't need to be cruel to be strong. You don't need permission to stop giving. And you don't need to have nothing left before you choose yourself. I waited too long, but I did choose. And that choice changed everything.